Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
Ready.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of What You Reading. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Delize. Welcome back, guys. Oops, I just remembered. All right, so this week we read a story called The Ritual, which is a series. I can't remember how many parts it is, but it is a series, and it is by Shantel Tessier, I guess. I think that's how you pronounce it. Tessier or Tessier? Tessier. We're going to say Tessier. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, y'all gonna love this book because I love this book. It was so good.
Yeah, it was good.
So in the beginning of the story, it was this guy. His name was Ryder. He knew that he had to do an initiation for a what is it, a group?
It's like a secret society organization type of thing that he's part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's trying to be a lord, and he has his friend, or now friend, Matt, and they are going on a mission at the beginning of the book. So in the book, they're supposed to kill one of the lords, an ex-lord, if you will. And when you get out of their little society, you done off. Like you're not gonna live through this. You broke some type of rules, and now they about to off you, and you ain't gonna never know when. So they're going to kill this man. They end up killing him, and then Matt, his friend, was like, "Oh, he look at his friend Matt, and Matt over here trying to get it on with the man's wife."
Yeah, and they had already told him, like, don't touch nothing else except that man, and do what you got to do and be on.
Get your mission done and get on through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so he trying to rape the woman. And he telling him, "Man, this is not part of the job. This is not what we have to do. Come on, let's go." And he was like, "Fuck you. I ain't had no pussy." This is basically what he was saying. I ain't had no pussy, and I'm about to get me some pussy. If you don't want to get in that, that's on you. And so he was like, whatever. So he turned his back around, and I don't know if he was like tying up like the loose ends, getting stuff done. And Matt is with this woman, and all he hears is the woman scream. And he come running out. Riot comes running out, and the woman then they thought died. And he was like, "Man, what did you do?" He was like, "Man, she slipped. She slipped, man. She did that to herself." He was like, "Man, what the fuck? Come on, let's go." And so they got on through. And then I don't know if it was the next day or the evening, Riot was called in the office. And I don't know who the man was.
I don't remember the
leader.
Yeah, okay, before we get further, the group that they're a part of, like to become the lords, is a group at a school. So these are students at the school that are doing these things, but they're college students, but there's like a group there's a certain group that once they join the lords, you are kind of like guaranteed certain high up positions in life. So they have like your whole future planned out for you, where like you will become like a judge, or you'll become the highest lawyer, or you'll become a doctor or whatever. Like they have these roles, but then they also have like who you'll marry and why you'll marry them and all these other things. So that's the whole part of being the lords. But they're kids, like these are students. Which blew me because these are students.
But they know about this. I mean, like, it's a known fact that, when you are trying to get in this group, this society, most likely it's some family that's already in a society or whatever. And so everybody that goes to that school kind of know what's up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. So Matt, the guy that Riot was with, has a girlfriend, and her name is, what is her name? I forgot her name. Blakely. That's right. So Blakely is Matt's girlfriend, and they've been together for a minute, but they ain't had no sex or nothing because part of being a lord is you can't have sex until your senior year, I think it is. When you have your chosen. So she been wanting to get down with Pound Town, and Matt's been like kind of dodging her, but he won't tell her why.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh no, oh this, oh that. Like they've done other stuff, but not actually like had sex. So
No, so later on that night, Riot get called into the office with his senior. I'm gonna say his senior. I mean, I don't know what to because they really don't like give these people titles. Like,
yeah, you're right. They're just other like lords, higher up
yeah.
lords.
So he
Yeah.
get called in the office, and the senior tells him, "Hey, I found your match. This your girl." So it's an understood thing that like they put them together, like that's like their gift. Their senior year, the senior matches them with a girl, and they get to do whatever they want to this girl.
And when they mean whatever, they mean whatever. You can
What?
treat them any old type of way because at the end of this, they go off to who they're promised to or whatever. But they
Right.
treat them like most of them get treated like absolute shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Sad.
So the girl ends up being Blakely, Matt's girlfriend. And so Riot is like, nah, man, like this is Matt's girl. Like he already did seen the girl. He know who the girl is. And he was like, nah, this is Matt's girl. I can't have her. And he was like, are you denying a direct order from me? And he was like, nah, do what you got to do to get her. And that's basically what he said. Whatever you got to do, you do it to get her, period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you do to the bitch. Like, I don't care.
Literally. Don't kill her, but
Yeah,
do whatever you can.
If you want to strangle her to almost her last breath, that's okay.
That's your prerogative. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a whole mess.
So as the kind of days go by, he watches Blakely and what she's doing, and she be seeing him, and she kind of feel a little way. She like, who is this dude? He's so mysterious. He fine. Everybody want him, but he weird. He act different. So he bumped into her that day, and then he ended up telling Matt, get your girl, get your strays.
He said, get your bitch.
Yeah.
Strays get picked up around here. Get your bitch.
Right. He already knew what his assignment was gonna be, so now he okay. So I think Matt kind of gets defensive, and he's like, have you been talking to him? How you know him? That's she's like, I do not know him. Like,
she like, stop tripping.
Yeah. But it really was like, stop tripping and give me some of that dick, because I've been wanting that dick. Like, that's the story gave that.
Definitely did. Definitely did. She said, can I have a piece? May I have a piece?
Yeah, like she's a virgin, but she still wanted this. She still wanted it. I don't know why. But yeah. But anyway, you go ahead, D.
So he keeps denying her, and she's just like, I just want some, and he's like, no. So now he's getting like kind of concerned because he's seeing that Riot is kind of like popping up around her where he didn't used to before. And then they have this thing, I forgot where Sarah, I think her homegirl's name is Sarah. So they have these parties. The lords have a party that's at their house where it's like the chosen, or the girls go to be chosen or whatever. And Sarah's like, hey girl, let's go to this party. It's going to be a time, blah, 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 blah. And Blakely's like, I don't know. I don't really want to do all that. So they end up going anyway. So she ends up going to the thing, and they see what's going on. They see all the people around and this and that. And I'm trying to think.
No, you're right.
She see Matt there with this girl. I forgot what the girl's name was, but I didn't like her. So she there with this girl, and she's like, what you doing here? Is that you? So she like, who is this girl? And the girl's like, this is my boyfriend. What are you talking about? And Blakely's like, the fuck? What you mean this is your boyfriend? This is my man. This has been my man. And she's like, Matt, what are you talking about? Instead of Matt trying to clear that up, he like, girl, go away, go on somewhere. And he takes his girl with him, and they bounce. I feel like her name was like Ashley or something.
He ain't say nothing.
Not a word, not a
Why
piece,
he
not a
didn't
nothing.
say nothing? Like, could he not say nothing?
He couldn't say nothing. He couldn't let her know like why that was a whole thing to begin with, because they weren't supposed to be aware of that whole situation.
Bitch, you could be my. I'm gonna tell you. I'm sorry.
You gonna
If
have to
we,
tell me. You gonna have to explain something to me.
bitch, you just better be quiet. Don't say nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna say you gonna have to let me know, because I will cut everybody up in this bitch. Like, we will, nobody getting out of here alive if you don't tell me what the
Right.
fuck going on. Like, for real.
Because they've been boyfriend and girlfriend for some time.
For some year, like they had planned on getting married and all this other stuff. Even though she don't really like, their relationship was real shitty, but she knew because her mom, which that was a whole thing, was her mom and her dad was like, "This is your person. Matt is who you're supposed to be with." Because in her mom's sense was, you go to college, you find your husband, you get married, you have kids, you do this, you do that, but you got to find your man. Like, you can't be out here without your man. And
Right.
homegirl's like, I don't really care about that, but whatever. That's what I'm supposed to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. So she feels some type of way about that. Her little feelings is crushed because she like, I cannot believe he would do that to me. So she like, fuck it, I'm about to have a good ass time at this party. So she having a good time. She doing her little thing. And then Riot, was this when her and Riot ended up doing something, but she didn't know it was Riot because they had a
Mm-hmm.
mask, because
Yep.
they had the mask on. So that was
Mm-hmm.
the other thing. They all had masks on, but she knew how did she know it was Matt? Because they
I think he ended up telling her that it was him. Don't you?
I don't know, because she knew. Oh wait, I think I'm getting the times confused, because when she's actually going to the party to be the chosen, like to be one of the chosen,
Yeah, that ain't
that's
it.
when, yeah, I messed it up.
This is just a party that she
Yeah.
had card to, and they ended
Yeah,
up going to that party.
that's right. I messed
She
up the
still
two.
do end up in that room with Riot, remember?
She do, yeah. So that something happens with them, but she don't know it's Riot.
Mm-hmm.
She think, actually, I'm not sure what she thought, but she didn't think it was Riot.
She didn't give a damn. She was still mad. So she didn't give a damn who it was.
She didn't, because she was like, I'm gonna show him. I was like, you go ahead, girl. You do what you gotta do,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
fuck him. But
Right.
so yeah, so they have that whole party that happens with them, and then the next day, is it the next day or is it like a couple of days after that, where she's finds out that she's actually going to be his chosen? Because Sarah was down for the cause. Sarah was like, "Hey, girl, I want to be somebody's girl. They can do whatever they want to me. I don't care."
Trying to be involved, girl. She did not care.
She didn't care. She was like, "I just want to be down for the times. Like, we're in school. Let's have a great ass time. I want to
Right.
get fucked, sucked. I
Mm-hmm.
don't whatever I need to do. I want to do it." So, I forgot. What was the name the guy that she ended up going with? I can't remember his name.
Gunner.
Um, Gunner. That's
I like
right.
me some Gunner too.
Gunner seemed like he was nice.
Mm-hmm.
He was nice.
But Gunner
So
was a rider. Gunner was a rider and Sarah was a rider. So they
both
matched.
of them, they matched so well. Oh, they matched so well. So so that happens with them. So then they actually have the invitations to become the chosen, and they go to this event, which a homegirl was a little bit hesitant, which there's a lot of details behind that, but y'all can read it. She was a little hesitant, but then she was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So when she gets there, that's when she's with Riot. She sees Matt with that girl, and that's when she flips out, because she's like, for real, that's crazy. But it was already kind of like too late, so it was just like, it was what it was. So Riot, so every one of the big
Oh,
things that,
oh, wait. Let me just insert this in here because it's important.
sure.
So after they go to this little thing and she hook up a ride and all this stuff happened, she called her mama because she mad about Ryan. I mean, Matt.
Matt, yep, you're
She is
right.
mad about Matt. She like, you didn't hook me up with this man. He got a whole girlfriend. I am not his girlfriend no more. And she was like, bitch, don't you fuck this up for us.
Don't mess this up for us. This is our future, bitch. Figure it the fuck
Right,
out. She was like,
right.
excuse me. What? Okay, I guess, but no.
She was like,
Um,
that's gonna be your husband. You do what you got
yeah.
to do, bitch. You don't fuck this up for me.
Do not fuck this up. And she was like,
Mhm.
girl. So homegirl had that in her head. She's already like, this lady tripping. So no. But so she gets to the ceremony. So one of the big things that happens with the lords and their chosen is they will do whatever they want to do to these girls in front of everybody in that damn house. So most of them will either fuck their chosens, or they'll have them like suck them off or whatever. They'll do this in front of everybody just to show the dominance over them. So when it
and
came,
what we failed to mention right before this ritual happened, that Riot have been creeping with Blakely a little bit. Okay, and now I think she knows it was him. So they have not had sex, but they have been doing other stuff. So go ahead.
So it comes time for her, and he like handcuffs her, like zip ties her. I think it's like zip ties. And so just to kind of show like dominance or whatever, he like tries to make sure she's secure or whatever. But he already said in his head, he's like, I'm not about to let them see me do anything like that with her, but they will see me, like they will see her give me head. So that's what he ends up doing to her in front of everybody. And then that happens, and then they end up going to go somewhere else so that he can finish what he started, so he could do it in peace, but also not have everybody watching. Some of these other people was doing something wild. So Matt gets up there with his chosen and holds old girl under the water. This is after him and old girl do stuff, and he ends up going back. Homegirl knocked out. He ends up going back, and he has Matt has old girl under the water, and it looks like she gonna drown. So Riot kind of says something which you're not supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to just let whatever happen, which you're not supposed to kill your chosen. So that wasn't supposed to happen. But so Riot says something, and they're like kind of looking at him crazy, like, bro, you need to chill out because you're not supposed to say nothing. But he also was like, bro, you need to calm down. So that whole thing happens. There is a point in the at some point where one of the old head lords calls Riot down to talk about what happened that night with Matt at the beginning of the story. He wants to talk to him about what happened with that, and Riot doesn't give him up, even though he got beef with him. He don't give him up. So we're just gonna hold that.
He ain't no snitch.
Hold that for later. He ain't no snitch. So we're gonna hold that for later. Okay, go ahead, girl.
Where you at?
So this is we'll do after the rituals, after the ceremony.
So after the next day, after they went to school, I think at some point Ryan was putting cameras in this bitch room.
Yeah. Homie put cameras all up in her shit, had her phone, whatever he did to her phone. Yeah, he had all, so he always knew where this girl was at all times, always knew what she was doing. Like, it was a lot. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, he had been putting cameras up and all this stuff on her room. I think she went to school. She seen Matt. Matt like cornered her and was like talking about that girl Cindy, and was like, "Yeah, you were gunning down." That's her name. Yeah, you know we don't like Cindy.
Don't like Cindy.
So he was like, "Yeah, that's that's who you hooking up with now, but Cindy is his real wife." And I don't know, but it felt like she had already started developing feelings for Ryan.
A little bit, because she was like,
they wait like 1 or 2.
I know, because I was like, girl, he just gave you a little attention. Please stand up.
He gave her the fight. Okay.
Well, yeah, he did give her some dick.
She was a virgin.
Yeah, but I'm like, girl, just because he gave you some dick, you do not have to be in love. It's okay.
Right.
But, you know.
Yeah, so she mad about that. Let me see what else happened.
Oh, so one of the things that when you were talking about Matt saying to her, so Matt did tell her like that he's gonna end up marrying Cindy, and when I get you back, I will make sure that your life is a living hell. I'll make sure that you're unhappy for your entire life and that you are miserable. Like, he pretty much just telling her that he gonna make her life hard as fuck for no reason, and she's like, I don't want that shit. So homegirl's like super upset about it, but she don't tell Riot. And so she doesn't tell Riot initially. She ends up going out with Sarah because she's like, hey, bitch, let's go out. I want to shake my ass and I want to get drunk. And Sarah's like, yes, bitch, let's do it. So they go out, have a great time. Riot pops up because, you know, he's like, where my girl at? Why is she out here tripping like that? Because people are going to try to get her. So he ends up taking her home. She drunk in a skunk. And she ends up telling him what happened with Matt. And Riot felt some type of way.
So she has been having dreams, reoccurring dreams, over and over.
Almost dropped my thing.
Of this man raping her, like some.
It was a CNC
stuff.
it was a consensual non-consent.
Yeah.
Consensual non-consent. Yeah, CNC.
Yeah. And so she was telling him how she kind of liked that. And it was like her kink or whatever. And she said she never did pursue it because Matt always made her
I feel
feel
like
bad
shit.
about it. Like he would always talk shit to her because of it. And Riot thinking to himself, how he gonna act like that when he tried to rape that woman?
And without consent.
And so he just pretty much told her, you know what, it's not a bad thing. That's just your king. That's what you like. Do you want to explore that? And she was like, she was hesitant because how Matt made her feel all this time about it. And she was like, yeah, I want to explore. So he was like, okay, well, we're going to explore. We'll do it whenever. Just whenever you feel comfortable, we're going to start doing it. Okay. And that's kind of the plan. Um, what else happened? I'm
He's
listening.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he said ends up having to go out of town. I'm skipping some stuff, but I don't. It's fine. He ends up saying he has to go out of town, which he's gonna go home to New York. One of the things is after he's done with school, he's supposed to go back to New York, work up there as a judge or some shit. And Mary said yes. So he
Right,
goes
and
home.
then right before he left out, I'm just putting this part
Yeah, yeah,
in.
yeah.
Right
Go
before
ahead.
he left out, that man, the leader, the senior, called him. He was like, "You didn't done that. You make sure you keep her."
Because okay, so before that happens, um, and after the Matt situation with Blakely and him telling her about Cindy or whatever, and Blakely ended up telling Riot about that situation when she was drunk. Riot ended up going to the back to the house, the Lord's house, and found Matt in the gym and like like threw some weights on him or did something where he like kind of messed them up a little bit because of that situation happening. Because he was like, "Don't ever talk to her, don't look at her, don't do nothing. Like, what is wrong with you?" He's like, "That's mine, and you're not allowed to touch her." So then that got around very quickly, and so whatever that leader was like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And so that ends up kind of like they end up talking about why that whole situation occurred. But finish what you were saying, girl.
Oh, that's all I was saying. And it goes along to say when he was getting ready to go out of town. So he was going out of town to see his family.
Mm-hmm.
He seen his mama and all that stuff, and then he sees his daddy, and he talking to his daddy about his daddy's like, how much you want to pay to keep her? Like, do you really want her like that? He was
Right.
like, yeah, I really want her. So they started getting close quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, yeah, I want her. And um, he was like, because Matt want to pay $50,000 for you to just leave her alone. And he was like, 50,000, that's chump change. What is
Those
$50,000?
pennies, those pennies.
It's 50,000.
What is $50,000?
Not my nose up at that 50,000. What is that?
Seriously,
But
chump
he
change.
was like, I don't need no 50,000. He ain't get her, period. And his,
Right.
his daddy was like, you sure you want to turn this down? You sure you want to pursue this? He was like, yeah, he want to pursue it. And so, and that was the end of that. His daddy was like, all right, I got your back. That's what you want. That's what you want.
Say less.
So
Say
then
less.
he go back home. It's like he went home. I guess he just went to see his family. Wasn't that important?
Mm.
And so then he go back and he sees Blakely, and they actually get to play out her fantasy. And after they finish, she feels so shameful and just like numb. And he like coos her, it's all right. Just what you want. I'm gonna be down with you. Don't feel bad. Type thing. Okay. Go ahead, girl.
So she's like, okay, cool. Like that was nice. And he's like, would you want to try it again? Like, what were some other things that you may like over other things? And so she's like, hey, I would kind of like want it to be more of a surprise. Like, I don't want to have as much control. And he was like, we could do that. So she's kind of like excited for that whenever it's gonna occur. She's like, geeked. So he does this thing where there's been a couple of instances where they've done things together, but he's like drugged her or like done some interesting things where she wasn't the most coherent, but she was
But
always
then she
aware
knew.
enough. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was aware enough, but she wasn't the most coherent. So
She
she would
like
like
I know this is gonna drink. This might drug me.
And would drink it. Wait.
So then he went back home. He got it on with his girl, her fantasies and all that good stuff. And then they gonna get a call from somebody. His daddy, I think he told him turn on the TV. Something happened and somebody died. And the person that was, I think the person that that's supposed to be in trouble was somebody that was a part of their little society.
Mm-hmm.
So his daddy was like, we got to make a move, basically, or whatever. And they was like, they caught a call from the Lord's house, and everybody had to go there. So when they got to the Lord's house or whatever, which is weird because in the book it's like a cathedral, and it makes it weird.
Yeah, it sounded like you know what it sounded like to me, like a big ass frat house, but like a really, really, really nice frat house, like
I
the
thought of a
white frats.
cathedral, like a cathedral.
Okay, I could see that.
Stained glass windows, like that's.
Oh yeah.
But so they got there, and then there was a mission that they wanted them to do, and Gunner spoke up and was like, "I do it." And Ryan gonna do it with me. He was like, he's gonna volunteer me. But he couldn't turn it down because he didn't want to sound like no pussy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, I'll go. I got you. So they end up having to go on this mission. And in the mission, I don't know what they had to do with somebody that they had to turn on the news because they had to go to the jail.
Yeah. So the person that they were needing to get was the person who is associated with that person was going to be in jail, and they needed to get him in order to kind of make up for whatever happened with the person who was on the news. Something to that effect. It's weird.
It just happened really quickly for him to go to prison. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really weird. So so they go into this prison. He gets close to whoever he needs to get to so he could do his job. And then that happens and they end up getting out. So it's all happens within what, like 2 days?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm all blurred out. Am I still blurry?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so it happens in the matter of like 2 days. He gets out, goes back home, and homegirl's like, "Where the fuck you been?" Like, he don't really explain at any point what's going on until much, much later. But yeah, so he gets back, and then I think he does it again, does the CNC with her, but she's like living her best life because she's like, this is the most awesome thing ever. This is great. Okay. Carry on.
Okay. I know what we look like.
I don't know. Something about the jail.
So they went to the jail. Did their mission, got on out of there. He then got home, got back to his to Blakely. Blakely asking 10,000 questions because one thing about Blakely is that she is so used to Matt not telling her nothing, doing all this stuff that she don't know what's going on, and she want to know what's going on all the time. It's a lot of secrets that the Lords cannot tell them, so she don't be knowing a lot of stuff. So she get home, she asked her 10,000 questions. He like, girl,
hush it, hush it up.
When I'm asleep, I just want to go to sleep. But she won't tell him. She don't really tell him what happened. And so they fuck after that, basically.
Literally all they do.
Yeah. But she
with no protection.
And then they start talking about another ritual that's supposed to be happening. And they were just kicking it and just cackling. And guess who just walked in the house? Her mama, Blakely mama. And Blakely mama is a bitch. You know what I'm talking about? So
her mama had me done.
She was like, who the fuck is you? And he was like, who the fuck is you?
Who is you?
Who is you?
Girl.
Yeah, and so she come out, she all surprised that her mama there. And she's like, "We're mad at, we're mad at." And she was like, "He is not here. We been broke up. I told you we broke up."
With
And
his
she was
cheating
like,
ass.
"Mm-hmm." And so she started getting up in her face. And guess what? Ryan was like, "Bitch, you better get out of her face." Because who was you talking to like that? And so her mama ain't do shit. That's why I wrote her mama ain't do shit. But Brian did not play about her. He pushed her. Look, this is what I picture. He took her by the forehead and mushed her out the door and shut the
You
damn
can
door.
go. She did a little like.
And she just laughed at it. She wasn't mad or nothing.
Yeah, because she knew her mama was tripping. She's like, girl, I'm not with that cheating ass man. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. So she still go. So they go back to school. She's still questioning everything. Like, what was Riley? What Matt do? Who did what? Why they was gone for 2 or 3 days? And that's pretty much the end of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's why she was questioning because she kept thinking that Riot was screwing other hoes.
Right.
That's what she kept thinking because she was like, he a lord. He can have anybody he want. That's what I know. He been gone for 3 days. He probably been fucking some bitches and blah 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 blah. And
Meanwhile, he just doing organized hits.
yeah, basically. And so Riot leaves out again, and she mad again because he still ain't tell her why he leave. But he leaving. He went to go see her daddy. He
Yeah.
was like, "Listen, I want to marry this girl. She mine. I want her. Period. I already know what Matt and them trying to do to her." It was more of like he started to like her a lot more, even though they weren't all the way in love yet. But he also knew that Matt was trying to harm her.
Exactly. He
So
didn't play about that girl at all. He was like, nobody's
right,
gonna bring harm to my girl.
mm-hmm.
I don't. He's like, how I have her right now is how I'm gonna have her. Like, we are not doing that.
Right. So Riot like offered her dad like this big, big like $1 million. Now I know 50,000. And so and his daddy was like, you know what? I ain't even gonna take your money. If you really want to marry my daughter, you really, really want to marry her, I want you to marry her too. Whatever.
He said, I don't even like that mad guy. No way.
Yeah, he ain't like him no way. Um and he was like, you sure that's what you want to do? He was like, yeah. At this point, Riot was really obsessed with her. At this
Yeah.
point. He was watching all everywhere she went, tracking everywhere she went. Like so he was really obsessed with her.
Mm-hmm.
He get back home. I wrote down. He get back home and he like, shut up and give me that pussy.
Literally. Bend it over, girl. Bust it wide open.
Let me see. Oh, so they have sex and all that good stuff, and then she passed out. And when she passed out, he put a ring on her damn finger. Like that's the way you wanted to say you wanted to marry him. Um,
He gonna say, now when you have this ring on your finger, know that stuff is going to change. Understand that it's
mhm.
going to change for real. And she's like, okay, whatever, I just, mommy.
Right. And she thought he was playing. He was like, bitch, why would I be playing about that? Something.
Right. So she gets scared and run and Riot like, hey girl, you can always try to run, but I'm always gonna find you. And she's like, you're not
Right.
gonna find me. He was like,
She
bet. She
like,
did.
bitch.
She did, and he was like, hey girl, I found you. But she had got herself into a really wild ass situation where
No,
she
that
like,
was the second time she ran. She
just
ran the
kidding.
first time. The first time her dumb ass ran, she ran. It was like, Daddy, can I borrow your private jet? Bitch,
Right.
I don't even know why Matt was coming with $50,000 and her daddy got a damn private jet.
Well, because Matt didn't give a fuck about her, and he was just like, "I'm gonna give you this little shit for your daughter or whatever." And I know her dad was like, "I literally just shot this out like seconds ago. What you mean you gonna give me this for my
Right.
child? The
Right. So
fuck?"
she was like, Daddy, can I borrow your private jet? I need to go somewhere. He was like, can't you wait a little bit for the? She was like, no, I really need it. He was like, okay, babe. So he sent a private jet for her. She packed her stuff, get on the jet. She get all cozy back in the room on the private jet. Here come Ryan on the damn thing.
Talk about some, hey
And
girl.
yeah, like he see the stewardess, he was like, yeah, where she at? She back there. He was like, damn, you just telling everything I got. You don't even know who I am. And he
Right.
was like, go ask her if she wants some champagne. So she go out there because she flirt with him at this point. Damn, Ryan is fine. Okay. In my head, Ryan is so
The way
fine.
he sounded, like what the way they had him sound. Yeah.
So good. He had
Yeah.
that deep voice. Mm.
Yeah.
And so he was like, go ask her if she wants some champagne. So he did. She was like, yeah, she wants some champagne. He was like, all right, let me get this. Bye bye. He put some stuff put some more stuff in her champagne.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then he was like, oh yeah, by the way, you fired. Get gone, bitch.
Yeah, you just giving me all this information. What
Yeah,
is wrong
y'all
with
know that you don't
you?
know who I am. You could be anybody. Call her daddy and like, yeah, I fired the stewardess, just so you know. Cause bitch, I could have been anybody.
Yeah.
And so um they fired the lady, she drank the champagne, she passed out. Um I wrote, he drugs her and plays in her ass. That's what he did. That's what he did. She woke up and had that plug in her ass. She was shocked, but she liked it.
I cannot. Oh my gosh. It's true though. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That is what happened.
This is where like that they end up seeing the daddies or whatever. He
I
see the
for
daddy and the daddy was like, are you sure you want to make her put her through this initiation? And he was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's like, you want to put it through this initiation? He's like, yeah, let's do it. And so she's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it or whatever. But they don't know what the initiation is. Like, and Ryan can't say anything. Like, it's a big test. So he
Mm-hmm.
oh, I remember what it was. They got married.
Yeah, they ended up
And yeah, they had gotten married. There was a whole ceremony with that. And then there was the one of the tests of her was to prove her like loyalty or whatever, was that Riot gave her divorce papers. And she was supposed to like, she wasn't supposed to sign them or anything like that, but that was a whole part of the test, was to see if she was what she was going to do with it and how she was going to react or whatever. And she was like, I'm not signing this shit. The fuck you think I am? Blah 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 blah, blah. All this
right.
other stuff. She passed the test because Ryan didn't want to do that, but he couldn't tell her that that was the test. So they had to like roll with it, and she just happened to so pass. So if she would have not, they would have that would have been that on that on that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because he had done her kind of dirty. There was something that happened, and she was like, he had done her a little bit foul. I forgot what it was.
Then she ran away again. She went to Dallas this time.
Yeah, so she so she runs away again. This time she's a little bit more smart. So she's like, let me make sure I take all this stuff off of me because like he can track me, blah 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 blah. So she doesn't take her daddy's private jet. I don't think. I think she just like, I forgot how she gets out there, but she go. And it takes homie a minute to find her,
3 weeks.
which is like,
Does this remind you of the other story that we read?
yes.
Remember with
The
the bomb?
with the commune with the cult.
Yeah, remember she wrote
It
she
does.
read in his car.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it reminded me of,
that's
because I was
right.
like, why does this sound so familiar? But that's why.
Mm-hmm,
That's why.
mm-hmm.
So she disappeared for 3 weeks. Homie's like, homie is stressed because he did not know where she was at 4 weeks. Like, had no idea. So she went to this little town, got a little job, got her, hid her identity. Homegirl like hired her, all this other stuff, and she was
Mm-hmm.
working at a diner or some
Like
shit.
a bar.
Like a yeah, like
And she was getting paid under the table.
right, because she couldn't have nothing. She couldn't have nothing on file because she ain't had no ID or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So one night she's out and these guys are kind of bothering her, but she's like, they're trying to flirt with her and they're like some regulars and she's trying to not to give them the time of the day. Well, homie wasn't about to take no for an answer. So she gets off her shift, homie pop up on the scene and try to get at her. She's like, hey, like leave me alone. It's not like that, da 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 da. He didn't want to hear none of that. So he starts to like kind of push up on her right in the nick of time. Somebody spots where she's at. I forgot how they figured out where she was at, but they figured out where she was at. Riot ended up finding out where she was at. He popped up on the scene just in time to save her from getting freaking murdered, because that was what was about to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she
So
had already remembered that she had asked him for that divorce. Something
right.
happened.
I can't remember what happened.
Something happened. I can go back and look if you want to, but I don't feel like it's that important.
I don't think it's
Something
that
happened.
important,
She
girl.
asked for a divorce. She ran, gone for 3 weeks. Now she being raped, about to get raped in the alley. Dun, 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 here come Ryan. He pop up on the scene, but he mad as shit at her too.
Yeah, he was because he's like, girl, where you been? What you
Mm-hmm.
doing? How you gonna be out here unprotected? How am I
Mm-hmm.
supposed to keep you safe?
He was angry, killed that
Hmm.
man. Um.
She's seen that man murder a lot of people,
Oh,
but as their time went
and
on.
he was really mad at her because she was making him soft.
Right, because he was real in his feelings about that girl. Like that girl had him like sprung. Like he was like nose wide open behind
And
that
that's
girl.
when he was like, "Well, here go the divorce papers. You want them divorce papers? Here they are. Sign them, girl. Sign them. Sign them." After she ran for 3 weeks.
Three for 3 weeks, girl. You might as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Right.
So that whole thing happens. There's so much that happens in between, but honestly, like you should read it because the detail is really good. And we're just doing an overview.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a part I'm gonna hop because we're at I don't know how much more time we got, but I'm gonna hop to it may be too far, but when everybody starts discovering all the stuff about people, is that too
Mm-hmm.
far?
No, I think this is the part where everybody start getting discovered. The crystal girl come out the woodwork.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I don't remember where they were at exactly, but something happens where everybody's kind of together. So you got
And she
Matt,
was, mm-hmm. Go ahead,
you
I'm
got
sorry.
no, you're good. You got Matt, Riot, Blakely, the dads, all these people are in the room. Oh, homegirl's mom, like it's a bunch of people that are in this room because they're all trying to figure out stuff. Come to find out, homegirl mama ain't her mama. That was just what they told her. Homegirl's mom was she was told that her mom died. Whole time her mom had been alive and well, and they thought that the woman that got killed by Matt and then when they did their first thing, they thought she had died. Come to find out, that was her. That was Blakely's actual mom. Right? No, wait, did I mess that up?
The girl that Matt was trying to rape was Blakely's mama.
Okay, yes. So it was Blakely's mom. And so Blakely's mom had been like watching over her this whole time, but Blakely's dad actually was like super in love with her
Mm-hmm.
and was not in love with her mom. But that was like their assignment because she was his chosen.
Mm-hmm.
So homegirl, this whole time, her mind whole blown. Everybody thought that lady died. So Matt was about to be in some shit, only to find out that homegirl was still very much alive, but he was still in some shit because he was doing some stuff he wasn't supposed to be doing to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Blakely's mom wanted to talk to her, like her actual mom wanted to talk to her because this is the thing that was crazy. I can't remember what happened, but because homegirl was dealing with Riot and all of that, Matt and Blakely's mom try to set something up where because she was pregnant, wasn't she?
Yeah, so Matt tries to take Blakely.
That's right.
And the
And the
mama was
mom was
there.
helping
The mama was helping her, not her real mom. Her
the
mom
other
that
mom.
raised her. That
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
"You
yeah,
won't stay with that man."
yeah, yeah,
She,
yeah.
she was like, she was trying to help her, and so all he wanted to do is he really just wanted to fuck the girl. To be honest,
And
I
he
feel
wanted to
like,
cut that baby out of her because he was
yeah,
like,
he
if
was
we got to
like, and
take
then,
this baby out of you, then that's what we
yep.
gonna do.
And the stepmom was like, no, because I want my archery baby. I want this for me. This is for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so she ended up trying to keep her alive because she wanted that baby.
So then she tried to keep her alive because she wanted that baby, and they end up finding her. So that was how that whole situation ended up happening. So they ended up finding her, and then that's how everybody was kind of in the same space at the same time. So now you have all of them out, and they have everything coming to light. So now you got Blakely's real mom, you got Matt and Blakely's stepmom, and everything's been exposed about what they've been up to. They ended up killing. I think they ended up killing her stepmom.
Both of them.
Yeah, Matt and her stepmom. They was like, "You gotta go," because what are y'all on?
Yep.
And then Blakely's actual mom wanted to talk to her and just kind of give her some clarity and information as to what like went down and why she did what she did. And so they go into that whole backstory and how much, because this is what they ended up finding out. Blakely's mom, her actual mom, and her dad were married still. That he was never actually married to her stepmom.
They had right off of the marriage.
Yeah, she thought they were, but they were not. And so, so he never actually got divorced from that lady because he loved to mess out that woman. And then in the future, I'm skipping too much.
No, I mean, you already didn't. I just skipped a good bit. Go ahead.
All right.
And you was right. You whenever they took her, they found out she was pregnant.
Right, with Riot's baby, which was like a whole thing.
That with the
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Okay, so you flash forward to the future. Now there's a baby that exists. They live in life. Actually, she has she has two boys, right? She has two twins, two twin boys and a little girl, I think it was. So the boys now are at an age where they can choose to do what they want. Homegirl was like, I don't want my kids to be part of the Lords at all. I want them to be part of that at all. And Riot's like, I get it, girl, but like we gotta let them make their own decisions. And she's like, I hear you, but like fuck that. So her one son is like, hey mama, really want to do the Lord thing. Her other son's like, not really my thing, but you know, I support. And then her daughter is like, hey girl, I'm about to go to college over here, far away. So y'all have a good time. And her brothers are like, no girl, that's too far. Her mom was like, you live your life, girl. Live your life, explore, do what you want to do. She is not happy about the fact that her kids want to do the Lord's at all. Her kid wants to do the Lord's. But she's like, you guys can make your own decision. I'm gonna let you do what you do. And they fuck a lot. The rest of the time, her and Riot just continue to fuck.
And he's a lawyer.
And he's a lawyer, and they're married with kids and living their life. Their kids are in college. Their daughter's about to go to college. Like, they just live in their life as best they can. And it all started out as a initiation for some fuck shit.
Yep.
It did. It did.
But it was a beautiful story.
It was a really good story, and I know that there is I know that this is a multi-part series. I will probably not read the rest of it. I'm going to be honest. I know when you had started to read the second one, and I just don't think I'm going to probably get into that.
Yeah, I want to.
But I did enjoy the first book. It was wild, and it was very it was rough because he treated her real bad. Both of them treated her real bad until he started to treat her good.
Right.
But I mean, I liked it, but it was a lot. It was a lot. So how did you feel about it?
I loved it. I thought it was a good story. It was very sexy. I did not like the way he treated her at the beginning, but it was a dark romance, and that's what you're going to get out of a dark romance.
That's facts.
But all in all, I really enjoyed it. Like you said, I don't want to get into that second book. It triggered me. Yeah, I just don't want to do it. Don't even really know about the third book, but I know I enjoyed this. So I kind of want to go back and see what else she wrote.
Yeah.
See if we can,
Yeah, no, I get it. I thought it was good. It was a good series, or a good book. So yeah. All right, well, tune in next time for another episode of What You Reading. So, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.